What's up? What's up? So how cool was it that Allen Iverson presented the Buffalo Bills schedule? He apparently is a Josh Allen fan, and if you're part of Bills Mafia, if you're on Instagram, that was really cool to see AI up there talking about throwing the Bills schedule up there. One of the things about with sports or with entertainment, you never know who's a fan of somebody. You never know. And it's like, wow, because if you watch Josh Allen play quarterback, you could definitely think AI was an influence because of his styling, the way he maneuvers, the way he gets it, the things that he does and tries to take everything on his back. For better, for worse in times, depends on how you come down. But, the NFL schedule came out. People get excited. I mean, the Bills' first game is going to be at home against the Baltimore Ravens, so that's going to be hype. But people get excited because that's like, I told you, the NFL does the best marketing of any league, the best. There ain't nothing like how you get excited in a situation in April and May. Like that's going to carry over until preseason starts, like late July, August. That's amazing how they can market it like that and get you so juiced up and amped. And ain't nothing more than saying someone that a player, basketball player that you grew up watching or you saw happens to acknowledge your favorite team or that's some respect. That's some deep respect right there. I mean, to have Iverson come out and say the Buffalo Bills schedule, that was pretty chunky. But he did say he was putting for Josh Allen as an MVP to an MVP. So that's the ultimate form of respect right there. You know. I guess when you see AI, it's so cool and so chill these days. So you always kind of rooting and pulling for that cat. You're like in awe because that with everything that goes on. And that puts a perspective about how time then gone on and where we are because it kind of gets taken for granted. But you're thinking, yeah, the Allen Iverson was in the NBA almost 30 years ago. That's insane. They almost say that. But yeah, another year from now, that's like 30 years ago. That's crazy when you think about it. But that's how fast time goes by. But anyway, to have him there to present the Bills schedule, talk about that, that's pretty impressive. So um, that was cool to see. No doubt. No doubt. If you're a Bills fan, part of Bills Mafia, you definitely feeling that. And that should get you hyped, you know. It says a lot because again, it's one of those things. Now that's the fan. That's always like a fan in people when you see somebody that you like or admire and they like your team or they acknowledge somebody that you're like, oh wow. Sometimes you just don't think that because people be busy in their schedules or just not something that they would talk about. But a lot of people forget Allen Iverson when he went to Bethel High School in Newport News, Virginia, was a quarterback. You know, back in the day, I used to go to Hampton High, and so but he had came after he had came after I left and all that. But I remember all that. Bethel was big time, and he was very mobile. So again, when you see things like that, puts things in perspective, and But it's cool though. It's a good vibe though to see AI giving the Bills a shout out, and it's like okay, and you're like, is AI down with the Bills? That's a good motivation just in itself right there. So we'll see what everything is. But anyway, please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another and share it if you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.